This new phone. Welcome to the Midwest Game Nerds podcast. I'm your host, John, and here with me today are Brian
Hey.
and Alex.
Hello.
Today we've got a bunch of news and our expanded thoughts on Red Dead Redemption 2. But before we get to all of that, if you want to follow us on social media or see all the places you can listen to or watch the show, check out MidwestGameNerds.com/links. The Midwest Podcast Network now has a Patreon. The Patreon is meant to benefit all the shows on the network. You can subscribe for as little as $1 a month and help keep our shows alive and well. Check it out at patreon.com/MidwestPodnet. That's MidwestPodnet. Thanks to Jason K. and Gojo for their contributions. As always, we do appreciate your feedback, which you can send to MidwestGameNerds@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow us on Twitch as well as rate and review us on your favorite podcatcher. Alex, do you have any bumpers for the beginning of the show?
Yeah, Horror Movie Yearbook did review Halloween. You could go check that out. That's their most recent episode out. I think later this week they will be releasing an episode about the movie Split Second, which stars Rutger Hauer and is available on Amazon Prime Video. If you have Prime, it is free. And it's a Rutger Hauer movie that Willie liked a lot and wanted to revisit, and I'm not certain that he liked it as much this time around. So should be interesting to listen to.
Sweet.
I don't remember any of the premise of the movie at all. So
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, today's episode is brought to you by crazy Japanese Kit Kat flavors as well as $2 versions of Battlefield Hardline
And Surge.
and Surge and LaCroix, cockroach killer.
Yep.
LaCroix.
there you go.
La Cucaracha.
Kirkland Purified Water.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Kleenex.
And none of these companies give us money.
Not at all. That being said, what else has anybody been playing?
So I played a little bit of Castlevania Requiem, which is the 2-pack of Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night that just came out the same day as Red Dead, October 26th. It was $16 for PlayStation Plus users upon pre-order. I think it is now $20.
Oh.
Worth it.
Yes and no. Honestly, if you have an Xbox or an Xbox One, play the Xbox version of the game because it is still the... Does that one have the upgraded voices?
No, it's got the old good stuff.
Yeah, so go with that one because
Yeah.
the version that is in Requiem is the updated version that was in a PSP version of the game.
What is a man?
It does not have the sweet voices, and some of the sound effects are different. Like, it just feels weird. Like, when I hit to, like, change something that I'm equipping, it doesn't make the same noise.
That like chime.
Yeah, and it throws me off every time. So, I honestly, if you need to play Symphony of the Night...
If you're doing it for nostalgic reasons, play one of those older versions of the remakes.
Or
but,
if it's your first time playing it,
I mean,
honestly.
in all seriousness,
Just so you know what everyone's talking
you need
about,
to
right?
know the bad voice acting because it's so good.
And the new version of it is also bad, but it's not like
It's not
good
bad in a good way.
Yeah. So play the Xbox Live version of it. It is backwards compatible for Xbox One.
Nice. It's probably a lot cheaper, too.
I think it's like $10, something like that. But
You
that is
steal
totally worth
men's
it.
souls and make them your slaves.
I have not played any Rondo of Blood yet, but
You don't need to.
There are some changes to Rondo of Blood as well in that PSP thing that they've ported these from. But the only other way you can play Rondo of Blood in English is through the Wii, and you had to buy it on the eShop channel, and you cannot get points anymore to buy things on the eShop channel.
So essentially, you can't get.
There's
the game.
no way to get that unless you've already owned it. So this is probably an okay substitute if you don't know Japanese and want to play a version of Rondo of Blood that you can.
Yeah, or if you have like one of the Super Nintendo, like mini Super Nintendos, you can hack it. And
I'm
put
sure
these
there's
on it.
fan translations and things like
Yeah.
that are out there. So anyway, yeah, it's fine. But honestly, if you're looking for Symphony of the Night, go elsewhere. If you're looking for Rondo of Blood, it's okay.
Just go find an old PlayStation.
Yeah,
There's some out there.
that's the preferable. Although I don't know how expensive Symphony of the Night is nowadays. It might be kind of.
You have my OG copy somewhere.
Yeah,
So
it's here. I have it.
classic.
It's in a vault.
Yeah. But
It should be.
yeah, it really should. I should have it hermetically sealed so that the discs can't rot or some shit. But,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's all that I've played other than
We should put the Castlevania disc into a CD player and rip the song that's on there because it's not in the game anywhere.
yeah.
We should use that as our theme song.
I don't know how legal that would be, but it'd be good.
Not very.
What's Konami gonna do? Like throw pachinko balls
Some
at
people
us?
think that this is leading into like more Castlevania, although that was the same day that Castlevania on Netflix
with
came
the
out.
popularity of the
season
Netflix show, I would hope they would do something. But see, they just signed on for season 3.
2. Yeah, I think it got
so-
renewed for season 3 like after season 1 came out. They did like 2 and 3 at once, but
Have you guys watched season 2 yet?
not yet.
I've watched
Me neither.
4 episodes of it, and it's fantastic.
Bruce in our Discord said that it's very good. He
I'm-
finished it.
I'm excited to watch it, but I have just been spending all of my free time playing Red Dead.
Yeah.
I haven't even played Destiny.
Man,
Yeah, this
are you
is-
okay?
It's the first time I've fallen off since the beginning of
That's
since
crazy.
right before Forsaken came out.
All right. Well, yeah, other than that, I don't know that there's anything else that I've played. So, there is a demo out for the Tetris Effect, which comes out on Tuesday, or no, this Friday maybe, for PlayStation 4, but also PlayStation VR.
I was going to ask you, is that a VR one?
It is a VR one if you have VR. It's also not VR if you just want a pretty
they have a
sweet
PC
looking
version?
version of Tetris. I don't know if it's PC or not yet. I would imagine it will go everywhere eventually.
I'm pretty terrible at Tetris, though. So
But I'm excited to check it out. There's been lots of reports of people having very emotional reactions while playing the game, so I'm excited. But it should
That's
be
weird.
it should be very interesting. I will fog up the VR helmet with my crying.
They were probably all on acid.
And that's the thing. It's like, if I did drugs and had any acid, I would probably drop some and play some.
I can get you some acid.
I'm good. But it would be, I'm sure it would be quite the experience. It looks like it would be very, very overwhelming, but in a good emotional way.
We're gonna get banned from Twitch.
Yeah.
we don't condone
Yeah,
this
the
stuff.
Midwest Podcast Network does not condone the usage of any drugs
Illegal
while playing video
substances.
games or for any reason.
Except for caffeine and surge.
It's
Yeah.
not illegal. That is very legal.
Oh, you said illegal.
Yeah, illegal substances.
Fair enough.
Legal substances you can use as much as you want.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Anyways.
Yep.
Brian, have you played anything else?
Not
No.
really.
We played the Rainbow Six Halloween event.
Oh, yeah.
That
Yeah.
was fun.
Tried to forget about that because it did really bad.
It was okay. I didn't like that they limited the operators you
Yeah,
could use, but
that was really upsetting to
I
me.
get it. But
I don't know. I got really good with Jaeger.
that's the thing is it made me try people like newer or different people than I would normally play, which is fun. But I don't think I'm gonna go back to any of them.
I
really.
actually like when they do these special events. That's seriously when all the sweaties come out. Like because
Yeah.
they want all the packs, and that's when I dealt with more people telling me how to play the game. And I lost my shit on a guy. I was like, dude, don't fucking tell me how to play the game. I paid the same amount of money as you did for this. I have all the right to play it however the fuck I want. Do not tell me how to play this game.
You just gotta start meeting those people.
The thing is, like, it's a game that involves teamwork, and like, I'm willing to be a
Yeah.
team player, but don't tell me how to play the game. Like, if you're dead and have 0 kills, and I have 3 kills and still alive, and I'm the last person alive, clearly I'm doing something right.
No, and there's
Unless
no.
you're
I
hiding.
mean, obviously, if they're trying to call things out, then that's great. But I don't know.
No, it wasn't call-outs. They were literally telling me what to do, and I'm like, dude, just shut up.
Like
yeah.
telling you what weapons to use.
Telling me
Where
how
to
to like how to
stand and
breach,
aim
and like
and-
how the breaches that I did were really bad, and that I should probably breach differently or don't play Hibana, things like that.
Yeah. I
It's
don't
just
know.
dumb.
There's assholes everywhere.
Yeah. Anyways, so that's
Especially
it.
in Rainbow Six.
That's all we've really played. I
But-
do have some feedback from Alan, because Alan actually went and played the Fallout 76 beta. He says, "Good afternoon, gentlemen. After speaking to John and Brian about Fallout 76 and how you guys weren't getting a chance to play the beta, I thought I'd give you a brief synopsis for the cast. Now, bearing in mind I'm an avid fan of Fallout, I'll try and stay impartial. So straight off the bat, when the game starts up, graphically, it feels like a souped-up Fallout 4. It doesn't look as though much has changed since 2015. The weaponry and crafting are exact same too. Character aesthetic building is the exact same as well. The level-up system has changed completely, where you get these power-up cards now instead of the perk chart, so I'm still working all that out. So on the biggest changes, which you guys already know, VATS is now like a live-action aiming system. It's weird. You can be attacked while in VATS, which defeats the purpose if you ask me. So the strangest thing is no NPCs. Running through the first few hours with nobody to talk to or interact with, it's so weird and lonely. Which it must have been really lonely, because he kept like texting me being like, hey, dude, are you going to play this? Because I need friends. You have some
That's
robots.
the thing is like, okay, so yeah, keep
Yeah,
going.
I'll finish.
Sorry.
You have some robots to talk to, but it's not the same. After finally hitting the first town, I came across some other players. They all had different first responder outfits on, as that's one of the themes of the game. If there was some way to break into a virtual YMCA dance with those 5 players, it would have been perfect. I can't judge it too much on a beta, to be honest. But for the money paid, it seems like a slicker online version of Fallout 4, which really sucks to say. Hopefully, after the full release and getting to play with a group of friends, it'll be better. But failing that, I'll still have a sweet But failing that, I'll still have a sweet power armor helmet to wear while sitting in boxers in the living room playing it. So fuck it. Keep up the good work, gentlemen. I appreciate all you do, Alan. Boom. Thanks,
So
dude.
in
Thanks
other
for sending
words,
that in.
He got the fancy version.
He did get the fancy version, and like I tried to get one of the fancy ones because I want the power helmet to like put on my shelf of like stuff in my game room, and I missed out. So the sweaties of Fallout 76 beat me.
I would have thought about it if I got it on like Best Buy with GCU.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I wasn't gonna try because I know that I just don't think this is my Fallout. My Fallout is gone.
Yeah.
I'll never see it again.
I mean, in general, it hasn't been getting a good response, which we'll get into with the news.
Yes and no. Like I feel like there were some very early impressions from people at like IGN and stuff that were like the story is really compelling, which is weird to me, and maybe it is, and maybe I'll play through that stuff and be like, this is sweet.
Told by robots and
Yeah.
video logs.
Like
logs.
that's the thing is like if it's just me sitting there listening to holotapes again, I'm so sick of listening to holotapes.
I've definitely heard that that's part of it, and I would find it very irritating trying to listen to those while dealing with like a real human component.
Yeah.
Like people talking to me constantly while I'm trying to listen to a tape is going to be
Exactly.
like it doesn't
like
make any
it's
sense.
like, oh, okay, you can either sit here and listen to this tape and do nothing because you need to comprehend it.
I read that it's hard to find places to do nothing, to like hide.
Yeah, because you can't even like pause, right?
Right. Yeah.
Because it's all online.
Yeah.
So you can't pull up your.
It just everything I've read quite a lot about it because I mean I really like Fallout, but I don't know if an online Fallout is something I want, and I'm not really keen on the settlement building part of Fallout anyways, and I feel like that's like gonna be the biggest part of this.
Yeah, base management's stupid. I hate that in every game.
Well, I just think it was a bad interface. Like if they did it better, I would be okay with it. But
and you played it
from
on
what I
PC,
understand,
right?
Yeah, but it
Okay.
was still the same.
Okay.
From what I understand, like it's the inventory system and stuff is the same in this, and that's terrible.
I figured it was. The PC version of Fallout 4 was the most ideal version of any potential
It was,
building.
yeah.
And with mods, probably got
Yeah,
better,
I mean,
but-
there are probably UI mods that I could install to help me out, but I just haven't gotten around to that. But Fallout 76 isn't going to have mods for quite a while. Like, that's further down the road. They haven't even said when that's going to be out.
Yeah, all the PC players are actually started modding it like already.
Oh, really?
They've been modding it since the beta dropped. Yeah.
Oh, great.
So.
Well, officially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? Like, if your account's gonna get banned or something if you're modding the shit out
I'm
of
sure it
something
probably will, but
yeah.
One of these days when there's a lull, I'm going to go back and play like a fully modded, kitted out version of Fallout 3 and be like, this is my Fallout, and then just not play any other Fallouts.
good
again.
luck getting it to start on your computer. It uses Windows Live
That's fair.
because
I
I
thought they
couldn't.
got
I
rid of
couldn't get
that.
it
There's
to
got to
work.
be a way to make it work.
I reinstalled it and couldn't get it to work.
Did you Google how to make Fallout 3 work without games for Windows
No,
Live?
because I shouldn't have to do that. If it's available in Steam for me to download and
course you should have to
install,
do that.
it should just
Yeah.
work.
It's PC gaming,
Yeah,
No.
you gotta jump through as many hoops as possible.
but it's worth
You
it.
get more
when you
points
get
that
the
way.
fanciest, fastest looking version of the game.
Yeah,
Fastest
Yeah.
looking, whatever.
the fastest look. Well, speaking of fastest looking in a Fallout game,
Oh yeah.
we can hop into news.
Yeah, let's
Might
do
as
it.
well.
All right. So Brian had a pair of stories here. Bethesda warns Fallout 76 fans to expect, quote, spectacular, end quote, bugs and issues. Which-
Yes.
you know,
That's the whole point of a beta.
you could have
I
posted that.
suppose.
Well, beta and it's a Bethesda game, but
Your beta shouldn't have like ground or like game killing bugs. It shouldn't. It should be
like the one
more
where
like
it basically
minor
like
bugs.
uninstalled the game.
yeah.
it's like this is probably the most actual. It's the use of the word beta has largely become demo as of late, but this is actually a beta. It's probably more of an alpha because it's a Bethesda game, but
That's my point.
yeah. And then the other article that you posted more recently questioning whether or not you care about Fallout 76 is from Kotaku. They said Fallout 76's beta physics are tied to its frame rate, which boils down to if you edit the ini file and make it go at higher than 60 frames per second, then you will move faster than anybody else
They said they're going to
Playing the game.
fix that,
after
but
launch.
that raised another issue with me is that I want to play my fucking games higher than 60 frames per second.
Yeah.
That's why I have a fancy monitor and a state-of-the-art video card is to play
So this
higher than 60 frames.
This won't affect anybody playing on PS4 or 360 or 360. PS4, it will affect you if you're playing on 360, but PS4 or Xbox One because the frame rates are locked.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're
But-
going to, from what it sounds like here, they're going to try to lock it on PC as well.
Oh, it is locked, but you can go edit the ini file. There's no it's not in the options, but you have to go edit the INI
Well, that's just going to be ridiculous.
because that's what you had to do with Skyrim.
See, I would
and
prefer to
Fallout
play
4.
the PC version, but if I know people are very easily cheating, that's kind of a turnoff for me.
I mean, it'd be sweet to find like a Flash costume and just kick it up to like 200 frames a second,
yeah,
and then just
overclock
run
I
through
mean,
the
everything, and
Everyone's cheating in Rainbow Six, and we still play that.
yeah.
Yeah, things don't sound good for Fallout.
It's tough because like I want to be excited about it, but I can't for some reason. Like I'm trying, like because it's a Fallout game and because it's Bethesda and I love Bethesda. Like I want to be into this game, but just the more I keep hearing about it, the more deterred I am. But I know I'm gonna end up getting it anyways.
I assume it's going to be very much like the Elder Scrolls Online. Like it will eventually be a good game, and there will be people who love it, but I think it will just kind of become this like background noise as people wait for
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls 6 and
With everything coming out and with everything that I still have to play before the year's over, that I would like to finish before the year's over, before we do our wrap up,
yeah.
it's like I don't even know if this really fits into my plan anymore. Like I could easily wait a few months to play this, and then, hopefully it's cheaper and works better.
Like I could see myself renting this one for 5 days and seeing if the story hooks me, and then if it does, I'll go buy it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm curious about the story. I'm curious about exploring West Virginia, and the fact that it's supposedly 4 times larger than the last game is crazy to me. And that's cool. Like, it looks neat, like, as far as the setting goes and stuff, but I just feel like me wandering around there and then all of a sudden running into people is actually going to ruin the experience for me. Like, me playing with friends might be okay.
yeah.
It could be really fucking cool. Like, maybe that's been missing the whole time and I didn't realize it. But the idea of, like, someone interrupting my exploration with their shenanigans is not my idea of fun in this type of universe. But
John blowing you up with nuclear.
that's fine. I know him. I don't want, like Dick Face 420 or something getting in my way.
Teabagging
Like,
into your frame. and-
ruining all my immersion.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't care about that so much because it's avoidable. So I don't know. Like you don't have to engage with other players if you don't want to.
But you have, I believe right now you have to play online. And
yeah,
have
but
to
if you
with
are
random
being
people, like you can't do private servers yet.
if you're being accosted by other players, you can ignore them. Like you don't have to actually engage with them.
But I
Like,
can't ignore them being there, ruining, like just being there and doing shit or doing the same things that I'm doing. Like that was my biggest problem with.
I guess what I
with
would
Elder
like.
Scrolls Online was like it was a cool world they made. Like the storylines were cool, the quests were cool, and it felt like Elder Scrolls for the most part, except for the fact that I knew like someone was talking to the exact same person I was doing the same quest. It made me not really feel very special and like I was actually part of a world, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of removes you from the
Yeah.
immersion.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I'm still interested to see what it actually is, because it just, even though there's footage of people playing it out there, it just feels like this weird nebulous thing that isn't really a game yet, and they're still going to be working on after it comes out. But
It's just it is weird for Bethesda to announce a game and release it in the same year.
Yeah.
Like that makes me scared a little.
I appreciate them trying something new that they are admittedly scared of. Like they don't even know how it's going to turn out. But that also is not really a vote of confidence.
no,
It doesn't make me feel any better about how it's going to turn out.
It's okay. We have Battlefield Hardline now.
That's a good point.
It
Yeah.
was $2.
Yeah.
that's
It
good.
should run very well based on the minimum
Hell yeah.
requirements.
Can I
saw.
go faster if I knock it up to
10,000
Probably.
frames a second. Basically
Alright.
playing through the Matrix.
Yep.
What's next?
Brian, you had one more.
Oh, yes. Battlefield 5, it's been announced that the Battle Royale mode will not launch until March, after they've already announced that the game was delayed once.
To work, supposedly to work on the Battle Royale, right?
Well, I mostly think that was just an excuse. Clearly, it was just an excuse, and they just wanted to get it out of Red Dead's sights, so to speak.
And away from Call of Duty, too.
Yeah. But I think this is just like the final nail in the coffin as far as like whether or not it'll do well and sales wise.
Well-
I just don't think it will.
There's been a lot of really weird news stuff about like, oh, pre-orders are low because they were looking at numbers in the UK or something, but supposedly it's the highest digital pre-orders they've ever had for a Battlefield game. So I
Mhm.
think reports are all over the place. There was also some news that they're like, we will not be launching with loot boxes.
Yeah.
They will come at a later date, which is kind of like are we just going to wait until the reviews are out and then patch in the loot boxes?
Can we just stop with the loot box crap?
Last I read, like their detailed breakdown of how they're going to do like their business model is that they're going to have things you can purchase with real money later on, but they did not say loot boxes. They're not going to do loot boxes at all.
Okay.
That's what I read. But initially there will not be microtransactions, period, when the game launches.
Okay. So
But those will come later on.
I was not certain if there were loot boxes.
And
I did hear it was all cosmetic.
They're
stuff.
also not doing premium for the first time since I want to say Battlefield 3. Like, so that's interesting.
Are the maps free then?
The maps are free.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it is actual. Like we are giving you free content.
Yeah, because they're not doing the loot box thing, the unlocks are not random in general either. Like you accrue in-game currency and you use that to unlock what you want to unlock, which is
Okay.
the way I prefer to play games.
All right. So,
I like a lot of the decisions they're making with it. I'm just afraid it's going to flop because of the timing and the fact that the Battle Royale is not coming out till March.
Yeah.
That's like the hot thing now.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I mean, I'm sure that helped Call of Duty out this time around.
They're just putting the extra server space available for Anthem.
Yeah, I worry about that game too.
I'm not worried. Anthem's going to be sweet.
I actually think the Division 2 will be better.
Yeah? Which version are you going to buy?
PC.
The $60 version or the like $1,000 version?
What?
There's like literally 20 different purchase levels for the Division 2.
Sweet.
Well, speaking of purchases,
Stupid. 35% of Ubisoft revenue comes from DLC and microtransactions. That's pretty incredible, to be honest with you. But that's cool because Rainbow Six is good. And
that's across all their games.
It is, but yeah, I just think in terms of Rainbow Six because I don't think I'm ever gonna play anything else they make.
I mean, I've spent money on Rainbow Bucks, so that
Yeah,
counts as a
I have too.
microtransaction.
And buying the game twice and buying operator packs.
Well,
and
yeah.
year passes.
It's the
and
sort of
stuff
thing where
that.
like, I mean, we bought the game on sale on both PC and PlayStation. I yet to pay full price for the game, so to speak.
Yeah.
Unless you include the season passes, which I don't. That's just the added stuff. But this is a game where I'm happy to spend extra money.
We
on.
bought it full price for Gladish, but that's it.
Yeah.
That's the only time. But that was 3 years in, and there's like 3 years worth of content.
Right.
But it's fine. If they actually put out quality stuff, like
if they have a good model for it too,
Yeah.
it's acceptable.
none of it has felt like I cannot play this game without spending money.
Yeah.
No, none of it. You don't feel forced. And at least with Rainbow Six, because it's the only one I can really make comparisons to, because I actually have purchased things for Rainbow Six. I want to buy the stuff.
Yeah.
Like, not just to support them because they made a cool game, but because some of the shit's really sweet. Like,
And it's me purchasing things has literally been I am too impatient to wait to unlock everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna buy it all up front.
and I'm sure they count on some of that.
Yeah.
You know, but it's just dumb shit like the Tachanka charm for
Well-
my guns. Like that's like a $5 thing, and I spent $5 on it. Like,
And the other thing for me has been like, well, I love Twitch, and I know that there's a premium skin or whatever for Twitch, so I've thought about buying it, and I haven't yet. But if I like your game a lot, I'll give you more money for it, I guess.
I wish
apparently.
Ubisoft had the Star Wars license, because then you could make the Twitch drone into like a BB-8, like when the next Star Wars movie drops
That'd
or
be
something like
pretty rad.
that.
Nick's been posting that picture of what is it? There's the Star Wars battalion. What is it? It's the one Republic Commando that came out
Oh,
for
yeah,
Xbox. Somebody made like a Rainbow Six Siege, like it's the black and white picture with the wall in between
Yeah.
the two teams, but it's a bunch of stormtroopers.
That would be
That's
great.
cool.
It would be
I'm
so awesome.
disappointed. I think it was just because of when it came out. I didn't play that game, but it looked like it was really good.
I've heard great things about it.
It would be
I haven't
awesome
played
if they just like had the license and just reskinned Rainbow Six with Star Wars shit.
it. That'd be so sweet. But yeah,
Cantina.
Sledge is a Jedi. He's got a lightsaber.
Be a lot of good levels.
Yeah.
Gladys said thanks to Patreon for Siege.
That's not true. We do not
No.
purchase games with the pay.
we
That
we
money is
paid
separate.
for that out of pocket.
Yes. We don't we don't make enough money on the Patreon to cover everything still. So it's not I mean, it covers all the basic stuff, but I've also got 5 years of operating costs to
Yeah.
make up on, so it's kind of like You know.
Yeah, that's not going to happen anytime
No.
soon.
no. But yeah. No. Good
I would
on
say-
Ubisoft.
Talking about this DLC and microtransactions thing kind of makes me want to bring up another thing that we've all wasted a lot of money on. Destiny 2 is free now on PC.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you wanted to bring up any BlizzCon stuff cuz I don't care to talk about any of it, but it did happen this
We
weekend.
could just do a quick rundown. There's that. There's Diablo Immortal
Coming for mobile.
for mobile.
The internet
and
is
nobody really
incensed about
really
it.
seems to care.
Yeah.
I just want to
Uh,
mention that the guy in the video who asked about it being an April Fool's joke reminds me of Gojo. Like, not just because he doesn't
I
have
didn't
hair.
watch it, but
That guy is my hero.
He looks and has like Gojo mannerisms to his like facial
Mhm.
expressions, and so it just I was like, man, like, and it just seems like something Gojo would say. Like if Gojo went to like BethesdaCon and they were like, they're like, oh, we made an Elder Scrolls mobile like MOBA something or other, and then he would get up there and be like, is this an April Fool's joke? Like, I would just
they're like, we can't come out with Elder Scrolls 6 this year, but here's this instead.
here's this other MOBA. It's an Elder Scrolls MOBA.
Yeah, no, that whole situation is terrible.
Yeah, I don't care
but
about the Diablo thing. I don't care about
it's Warcraft 3 something.
like Brian said,
whatever
I
they
would have
call it.
rather they do too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have
me
much rather had Tides of Darkness.
They don't even need to touch that game. Just make it so I can run it. On
yeah,
my
man, let
modern
me
PC.
play it. Just let me play that game. Let me play Diablo 1 on my current PC.
Yeah,
That would be nice.
That would be a dream.
Yeah. Beyond that, I think it was just like.
Oh yeah, Destiny's free. You mentioned that.
Yeah. Only if you download it
Base
during
game
November,
on PC.
and then it's free forever.
And everybody who already bought it gets an emblem.
It's
Oh,
through
yeah.
it's
Woo.
through November 18th. You have to claim it by
18th,
November
okay.
18th.
I want
So,
I want my $8 back.
the there's a new character for Overwatch named Ash. Looks like McCree, but in lady form. Cool. There's also they made their first new character for Heroes of the Storm that is not from any other Blizzard game because they ran out
Oh.
of characters to put into it.
Interesting.
So
they
they
should
had
probably
to-
start making new games.
Yeah, they could maybe do that, or
I don't
May-
think they have any Overwatch.
maybe
characters in that
Diablo
game, do they?
Immortal. I have no idea. I don't
Hmm.
look at any. Here's just the only news story I've heard about Heroes of the Storm.
Diablo Immortal, though, I think, did Zach mention that it's just a reskinned game from some other like Asian company?
They've partnered with someone who has made a mobile game for Asian markets. I haven't read into it any more than that.
Tencent, maybe.
I'm pretty
It's not
sure.
Tencent.
I'm pretty sure he mentioned that it was a reskinned game.
Oh, that's
of theirs.
awesome.
So it's not even like an original make of some sort.
That's pretty stupid. But
I was initially like okay with it, thinking like it could be cool. I mean, it's Blizzard.
Can I play it on my
They
iPad? Because
usually
I'm
do
not going to play it
everything
on my
they
phone.
do well, but like now that I've read a little more about it, I'm like, yeah, this is stupid.
it just seems like a cash grab is the thing, and fine. But I can't begrudge a company trying to make money. But more on that with this other story that I'm pulling up about Ubisoft.
So, Ubisoft is removing blood, gambling, and sex references from Rainbow Six in order to have proper compliance with Asian territories.
It's just for that version though, not
No. It's a worldwide version of the game.
Yeah.
They're consolidating into one version of the game that everyone plays, so they don't have to update multiple versions.
Yeah.
So they're removing all blood and sex references and skulls, anything relating to death, which I don't understand because are they going to shoot like little Nerf balls and fall over
like
when they
in
die?
The one that
or-
we've been playing for
Yes.
a couple years?
Yes. Quote,
Oh, I did not
quote,
understand it that way.
by maintaining a single build, we are able to reduce the duplication of work on the development side, Ubisoft wrote. This will allow us to be more agile as a development team and address issues more quickly. And then they're going to say it is also noted that global build would, quote, guarantee that any future changes are aligned with the global regulations we are working towards.
So, for instance, static blood in the game is being removed. When you're in the clubhouse, the live nudes, like chick silhouette on the pole, is being removed and replaced with a hand.
What are they going to do with the actual stripper pole that's in that level?
I don't know, man. Maybe it's going to be like a handrail.
It's a Christmas tree now.
Yeah.
Oh, this is really irritating.
The main thing that a lot of people are concerned with is the dynamic blood splatter that happens when you
Yeah,
fire the
that's-
gun
I mean,
in game. It creates a dynamic blood splatter on the wall behind the person who gets hit, and that shows people that you actually hit someone. Are they removing that?
and it's
Like-
somewhat realistic.
Right. So, and all these skins that people just paid for, like that are death related from the latest, the Halloween event, like everyone paid for like buttloads of money to get the Jaeger helmet, which was a skull. So, are they no longer going to be allowed to use that in game?
Do they have like 5 people working on this update?
I don't know. It just
I don't think it'd be that hard to maintain a different set of graphical assets.
yeah.
It's like,
The internet is very upset about this. The
yeah, that
main
is
thing that a
ridiculous.
lot
It's
of
just not. I didn't read the whole article, but I just assumed that it was for
It was
whatever
like an
new
Asian
versions.
market
they're
I'm
only.
really
pushing.
not
Yeah.
surprised you didn't read the article. I'm just gonna
Well,
throw that out there.
I've never known them to like have worldwide versions of any game when it comes to that. Like most, like Australia and shit, they have different versions
Really
of games
strict.
than we do.
Yeah, they didn't get Mortal Kombat 9.
We always get to keep our blood and guts and violence, and so this just seems absurd to me. And it wouldn't be a big deal if they had built the game like that in the first place, but like taking it out of a game we've been playing for 2 years.
You're
is
removing
kind
functionality
stupid.
and things that people are actually relying on.
Yeah.
Well, the
but-
thing I find kind of funny, I mean, is it funny or I don't know what it is. It's people on the internet on the subreddit are like flipping fucking tables over the fact that a Tom Clancy branded game is bending over and taking it up the ass from Asian countries that are that are run by communists. Like, they're like, just take Tom Clancy's name off of the game because he's turning over in his grave right now. And they're all just like losing their minds over it. Which
I'm sorry, like, was that before or after Tom Clancy Hawks or whatever the fuck that game was? We are so far down that fucking rabbit hole that anybody trying to make
I don't think Tom Clancy would really want any of these games to exist in his name, to be honest.
I don't know that the first one should have come out the way it did, but
anyways, as long as it doesn't affect like the way the game plays.
I guess we're all going back to playing Rainbow Six Vegas. Fuck this.
It's not. That's the thing that I said to you guys is that, well, I never looked at blood spatter for any information anyway, so it's not going to affect me all that much.
I mean, that's the thing is, like, I don't understand how they can do what they want to do and not have that effect, because that is an important thing that people use as an information tag, like letting people know where certain people were hit, if they were hit, yada yada.
Are they taking out some of the operators because they're too sexy?
They're gonna have to remove Caviera's makeup because it's a skull.
They did.
And her name actually means skull, if I'm not mistaken. So they're gonna have to change her name.
That's ridiculous.
So
that
they did
so
come
ridiculous.
and say
that's like her trademark.
This Eurogamer article does go on to say, however, confusing matters. A later response from Ubisoft community manager appeared to contradict the publisher's initial statement. In a post to the Rainbow Six subreddit, UbiNoti wrote, quote, we do recognize and understand that for some elements it is not possible to have a completely global build. Thus, there will be some things that are split build-wise. It is also noted that this region-locked branched build, quote, would not engage with our existing player base.
It just doesn't make sense to me.
So there's no...
Like, they basically said, we're going to make these changes, but we're not going to make them.
We got to make these changes for everybody so that it's easier for us. And then they're like, well, it's not going to be easier for us because we're not going to make these changes for everybody.
They basically, like, they contradicted themselves within like minutes. And not only that, but I also read another thing in the subreddit that if you're on the official Rainbow Six Discord, they've been censoring like people who are commenting about this particular topic. Like they're deleting comments and not letting people discuss it, and banning people that are talking about it.
Interesting.
So that's kind of fucked up.
Well, guys, I guess we're just gonna have to switch to playing Hardline all the time.
That's why I picked it up. It was $2. Everybody pick up Hardline for your PC. Let's play this shit. There's only 200 people in the
we're
player
done with
base.
Rainbow Six.
EA is going to be like, why
Boycott.
the fuck are people playing Battlefield Hardline?
Everyone's
right
playing
now?
Hardline.
Spiking
Everybody picked up Hardline. There's one
We're gonna have to bring
podcast
some
talked
new
about
servers
Hardline.
online.
Yeah.
I'm going to play the shit out of the story mode in this game. It was pretty fucking good, if I remember correctly.
It was pretty funny.
So
because it was so ridiculous.
Yeah, it was like a cop movie.
Yeah,
or
but
a cop
it was,
TV show.
It just didn't
Last
make any
time on
sense.
Hardline.
It's like, are you gonna arrest this guy or shoot him? Because that's legal.
Shoot him. Just fucking shoot him.
I guess that's how they do it nowadays, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh.
all right. I've got one more story. So GameSite, this is from Variety.com. GameSite apologizes for Red Dead Redemption 2 leak, pays £1 million donation. I can't talk today. So back in February,
It's a spotted dog.
there was a website called Trusted Reviews that leaked a bunch of information that was somehow put in their hands about Red Dead Redemption 2. Take-Two was taking legal action, and it appears that some type of settlement has come forward that included Trusted Reviews posting this apology. It says, on February 6, 2018, we published an article that was sourced from a confidential corporate document. We should have known that this information was confidential and should not have published it. We unreservedly apologize to Take-Two Games, and we have undertaken not to repeat such actions again. They also went on to say that they donated over £1 million to charities chosen by Take-Two Games, and those charities include Take-Two's quote back to them was, Take-Two takes security seriously and will take legal action against people or publications who leak confidential information. And then they said, because this situation involved information about Red Dead Redemption 2, Rockstar Games directed the settlement funds to these three great charities: the American Indian College Fund, the American Prairie Reserve, and the First Nations Development Institute.
Interesting.
So cool that they gave money to charity, but this is also setting a precedent for, like, if some game maker leaks information to you and you publish it, that there could be legal action that happens. So there's a lot of unknowns in this situation. Maybe potentially trusted reviews got the information in some sort of illegal fashion.
Right, some malicious manner.
We don't know. And maybe that's why they decided it's best we settle this rather than actually fight.
Right.
Apparently they have £1 million to give away, so they must be doing okay. But it just seems like a very weird... Like, when something comes out confidential, we've got people publishing confidential military stuff from the United States, and that involves legal action, and that makes sense. But if someone from Microsoft is like, oh, this piece of paper is confidential, and then it comes out, like they dropped it on the ground and some journalist picks it up and is like, I'm going to scan this in and put it out anywhere. There's nothing illegal done there. You know? Like,
right.
there's no... The confidential marker, according to a company, does not mean anything in a legal sense unless you've signed like an NDA or something like that.
Right. But that's the thing. I think we mentioned this in our Discord that clearly there was more to this than they're telling people.
There's got to be more details out there, but the weirdest thing to me was the language in the two statements from both Take-Two and TI Media. Them saying we should have known this information was confidential and should not have published it. Why? It doesn't make any sense to me. So the apologies were the apology.
Maybe there was a stamp on it that said confidential.
So what though? What does it matter? Like why?
If it
why
made
should
its way
they
out in the wild, like how is it confidential? Like unless they received it in some malicious manner, i.e., hacking someone's email or. You know,
and if Take-Two was like, we are suing the person who leaked the information to you, totally understand. Like, that's a different case.
Because that person probably did sign some kind of NDA.
Yeah. Or, you know, it's just a part of their employment contract or something like that. But the idea that a magazine or a website would be like, we got this confidential information, we're going to talk about it. Like, that happened with PlayStation 4 Pro documents with Patrick Klepek and Austin Walker, like, 3 years ago when that was first they got an actual, like, Sony document from somebody, and Sony didn't come and sue them. So, I don't know. It's very weird to me and sets a strange precedent. But
it doesn't, though. This, I'm assuming the settlement was made out of court, right?
There's not even necessarily details there. So
there is no precedent necessarily. Like I get where you're coming from that this could lead to a precedent of sorts, but if there was no actual legal action taken, and
it's not an actual legal
there was
precedent.
no like proper litigation that took place, there's no precedent to be had. So
yeah, it's true.
Which makes me believe that this is literally something that like they were like, we will come after you, and
Trusted
Reviews was like, our bad. Like, we got this in a malicious manner, and we're going to fix this and make it right.
And and that could be the case. And if so, okay.
And probably because they know, like, this will set a precedent, so we might as well settle this out of court. Like,
yeah.
So, I don't know. Anyways.
But yeah, that's a story about Red Dead 2.
Let's talk about it some more.
Talk about it.
I hate this game. This is the worst game I've ever played.
But you can't stop playing it.
I can't. Here's the deal. So I spent a lot of time hunting. Hunting takes a while, especially if you're doing like the legendary creatures, animals, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
That takes a minute. And when you take a lot of time to sort that out and get some pretty ridiculous legendary pelts and you put them on the back of your horse and then somehow get in a gunfight and die, those pelts disappear.
Mm-hmm.
Where did they go?
Maybe back at camp.
Maybe the dudes who killed you stole them.
It's bullshit.
Like, oh shit, this is a legendary bear pelt.
Oh shit, we know this is legendary. We're gonna take it.
This is the biggest bear pelt I ever seen.
Also,
I'm still the Leone boys.
I'm still gonna
harp.
I'm gonna harp on the controls. The controls are so bad.
I made a change that they suggested on Giant Bomb. You make your dead zone 0, and then you increase acceleration all the way. And it's not too bad.
It feels
and then
more
turn
snappy.
on the toggle sprint thing.
Yeah.
So
and
you
then
don't
if
have
you
to
use a
tap X
turbo
to sprint.
button on your third-party Mad Catz controller,
Oh yeah, Mad
this
Catz.
game just screams.
Oh yeah.
But no, those changes to me made
Arthur,
it feel.
you're running so fast.
It makes it feel more.
I turned up my
responsive.
frame rate.
My frame rates is turned up. Yeah. We
That-
cracked into the graphical settings of the game here, and now we can go so fast.
the dead zone and acceleration thing made it a little more
Yeah.
workable for me.
And just in general, like, give me some kind of fast travel. Like,
There is fast
There's
travel,
trains and stuff, right?
but
on
there's
my
actual
horse?
fast travel.
no,
even
what
in
it,
law.
like I'm not. Here's what I would like in terms of fast travel. I would like for if I set a waypoint to a specific place that can be reached via road, that I get on that road and I hold X like I do in Assassin's Creed Origins, and it just takes me there.
If you if you start running towards your waypoint and then enable the cinematic view, it is supposed to take you all the way there.
yeah,
Okay,
It
that's
does.
built into the game. It'll
Yes.
do that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. That saves me time. Because then, instead of me sitting there and riding my horse for literally 45 real minutes, I can set the controller down
no,
and
no,
go.
you can't set the controller down because you have to keep holding X.
I don't think you do.
That's
Yeah,
what. See,
you'll
that's
come
what
to
I'm
a
talking about.
stop if you don't.
I don't
think
want to
I
have
did
to
the
hold
other day.
X. I don't want to have to hold a direction. I want to just hit the button and he goes, and I can
Maybe
put the
they changed
controller
that.
down. And while he's taking 45 minutes to get from A to B, I can go and make dinner and
sandwich, yeah.
make a sandwich, eat a sandwich, take a leak, get a pop, go back upstairs, eat an entire sleeve of Oreos,
Play Battlefield Hardline.
I
play
know you
Hardline
can't-
on my
you-
PC for a minute.
You can't do that with trains because you have to manually get off the train, or you just keep going around.
Fuck, I'm right back where I was.
I did steal a train,
And then you
actually,
get to the
which
end of the
was
line,
fun.
and then it shuts down for the day. And
Gojo said he held up a riverboat casino, so
what?
that apparently happened.
I really enjoyed seeing the O'Driscolls were trying to steal a train, and I killed the O'Driscolls
Oh,
by
yeah, I did
myself,
that.
and then took the train, and then just rode the train
Oh, I
around.
didn't take the train.
Oh yeah,
'cause I
you get to
died.
drive the train, man.
Yeah.
It's sweet.
I did use a Gatling gun that, like, I got attacked by bounty hunters or something, and they left, like, a Gatling gun. Oh, no. It was part of a mission. These people attacked this spot, and they left a Gatling gun, and then bounty hunters came after me, and I used the Gatling gun on the bounty hunters. That was fun.
It is incredible to me that we could play this game for probably a combined 40, 50 hours or wherever we're at, maybe. I don't know. But
I'm
that we could not necessarily know exactly how that cinematic mode things work or not know it exists.
I know it exists.
It tells you
I
at
did.
the
Well, no,
beginning.
that it would take you as
I didn't
a way,
know
like,
it'll
to a
just
waypoint.
it'll just
I'm
do
pretty
that.
sure it tells you in the beginning.
I don't remember. I heard it on Giant Bomb, so I don't remember
Okay.
hearing that.
Much like I don't know when my super's ready to go in Destiny. There's things in my peripheral that I don't pay attention to.
Well, and that's the thing. The
when
fact
the bar is yellow.
the fact that it's like, hey, guess what? You're gonna learn things by a tooltip that appears for 2 milliseconds in the upper left corner of the screen
Good point.
is
yeah.
horrendous game design.
Yeah, what he
Like,
said.
that is just so.
Yeah, but when you're
stupid.
trudging through the snow for the first 4 or 5 hours, you have plenty of time to read shit.
Well, I was too busy looking at the pretty graphics.
I'm not reading a damn thing, man. I'm not even reading. Even though
What
they're.
if there's a fucking polar bear that somehow made it down from?
How am I supposed to draw dicks in the
Well-
snow if I'm reading shit? You know, like, come on. Like, I'm not gonna read any of that stuff.
He's a real
Good
artisan.
point.
He takes pride in his
Big
craft.
veiny motherfuckers, man. Huge balls. Huge.
Yeah,
I
like
will
fu-
say this.
my horse's balls.
I may hate on this game a little bit. I do love playing it. It is a lot of fun. And one of the things that I've been noticing about when games are becoming, when they are what they are now, like now that games are where they are aesthetically and how they play the way they play, you start to notice little things like things because you don't have to like struggle with the visuals. Like this game looks fucking real. Like it's kind of ridiculous. And one of the things that really stuck out, there's a couple of things that stuck out to me. The main thing that sticks out to me is when you're just trotting on a horse and just the weight of him on the horse and the way his like shoulders move and like his hand that hangs down at the side, like the fingers bounce with each like trot. Like that's those are physics elements that like we've never seen that kind of crap in games like that perfect. It looks
Yeah,
real.
The way the balls jostle to and fro.
It looks real. I don't focus on dog balls or I'm sorry, horse balls or anything like that. I'm not focusing on it.
Check
I'm not
the
paying
dogs yet.
I'm assuming the dogs have balls too. Everything probably has balls. I'm assuming everyone in that game is completely anatomically correct. I mean, let's
Probably.
be honest here. But things like that. One of the other things I noticed, I was riding in a carriage. I was like booking it down the road in a carriage, and like the AI on a horse like moved off to the side to give the carriage the right of way. You know, like things like that. Like in an old
And
game.
sometimes they don't, and you just run into them, and it's
Well,
and then
total
someone witnessed
disaster.
it.
Well, no,
and-
if you're on horse, though, they don't really move out of the way for you on horse. Like, they kind of stay to their side of the road, and because you are the main character of the game you're playing, you're just beelining it down the center of the road, which
I
you
get
shouldn't
I
do.
get out of the way of other people.
Yeah, but I mean, I started moving too. Like,
Yeah.
but like little things like that. The music cues that pop in every once in a while
Mhm.
are amazing. Especially when you're just kind of trotting through the countryside and you get this like little hit of violin that comes in out of nowhere. The
Mhm.
fiddle diddle diddle, you know, it just like kind of rips in like
Yeah.
out of nowhere. Like it comes out of nowhere and you're like, I'm not even doing anything, but that made me feel really cool. Like I've got 6 birds hanging off my saddle flapping on my horse's ass, and I'm just walking through the
Not
countryside
anymore.
and there's
Not now that you lost everything.
no, I lost all my pelts and birds.
How much shit can you fit on there?
You can keep stacking single small animal pelts.
But
We
you can only
forgot-
keep one large
we
one, right?
yeah.
we
I think so.
forgot the most important and pressing question. How many more horses have you killed, John?
I have not killed any additional horses.
Okay, that's good.
Congratulations.
I've kept my one what's his name, Tennessee something or other.
Tennessee Walker.
Yeah, I kept him alive.
That's good.
He's still kicking.
I gotta say, I've spent probably 20 minutes so far just petting dogs, and it's great.
But
That's
you
all I
can't
want
pet
to do in this
cats.
game.
Can you get a dog companion? That's what I really want.
I don't know about that, but the fact that I can like hold L2 and then like praise a dog and then it walks up to me and I can pet it for 20 minutes is just great.
Like, I'd be curious to know, like, if you sit and pet a dog long enough, does it just start following you as your companion? Like,
I don't think so,
Only in Zelda.
that's what I would
Yeah.
like.
but it's still great, and it's probably my favorite mechanic in the game. But
Pat said, it's okay if you lost your pelts. I accidentally shot the trapper in the chest.
I actually purposely shot the trapper today because he wouldn't open up his shop for me, and he just kept insulting me. And I had a pelt to like a perfect bear pelt to sell him, and so I got mad.
what happened? Are you gonna
He
reload?
died, and I went and I gave it away at camp for $750.
That's pretty good.
I like that there's multiple solutions to, to things in this game. Really, that's what I'm
Yeah,
trying
that's
to say.
pretty good. Couple things. Getting into a couple fist fights and realizing that I had to backtrack to find my hat. It's great. I love it.
You don't
But
have to
you
do
don't
that.
have to do
You
that.
don't have to, but you can.
Yeah,
And it's awesome.
yeah.
So it feels very Indiana Jones.
That
And
was
I wish he would give you a reminder, like, "My goddamn, where my hat go?"
Yeah.
And just so because you probably didn't think about it, and then it would have been funny if he points it out, and you're like, "Holy shit, where did my hat go?" And then you actually have to think like, "Oh, I got to go find it now because I want my hat back."
I just finished the mission, the one where you get drunk.
oh god, that's such a
Oh,
good
that's so
mission.
good.
And I don't know where my hat is right now, so I'm kind of disappointed.
I
that
don't know where the
like
fuck I woke up.
I rode back to the saloon to look around in the saloon, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I'm
See,
like, fuck,
like,
it's lost somewhere in between here and there.
I think it randomizes the locations you wake up.
Oh,
Because I was talking to someone about this, and like my guy was like way the hell out in the wilderness, and I didn't have my horse with me. It was still in town.
I don't have
So
my
I
horse
just had
with
to hoof
me.
it back to town.
Yes, that's what I had to do.
Yeah, it was a pain in the ass.
But I was pretty close. I was close to the train station that's
I
like
think
south of
I
Valentine.
may have borrowed a horse to get part of the way.
But yeah, that's I don't know, for some reason the idea that you lose your hat and it's still sitting there, you can go pick it up is really
That was
cool.
one of the first cool details in the game I noticed, because like that first like big kind of shootout you have with I think the O'Driscolls.
Yeah.
And my hat got shot off,
Yeah.
and I didn't know where it went. And then we moved on to the next part of the game. So for basically like 2 hours, I didn't have a hat on in any of the like cinematics or anything. And I was like, man, does that mean I just gotta buy a new hat or something? And then I finally got my hat back. And
You
I
just go back
realized
to
it's
the
on-
wardrobe, right? And
I
you
realize
can-
it's on the horse.
Oh,
yeah, you
okay.
can just when you're
Like all the
near
hats
on
are.
or near the horse, you can just pull your hat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
But it's a cool detail for sure.
Yeah. The other thing is that there's been several instances of me like trying to do the rate at which things can get out of hand in this game is very interesting.
Things
'Cause
escalate quickly.
I was doing
That's
one
how
of
I
the-
lost my pelts.
I was but the thing is, like, I was doing one of the I'm trying to be a pretty good person. Like, if somebody sees me doing something, I try to just threaten them to make them not report me, right? So I have no bounties right now.
That's insane.
But-
I'm close to $1,000.
So I was doing one of the money collection missions for Strauss, and it's this kid who was at a farm and hid his money in a tree. Do
Yeah.
you guys remember
I
that?
did that.
one?
I did that one.
Yeah. So I tied him up or whatever. I lassoed him off of his horse when he ran away. I tied him up. He's like, "Let me go and I'll tell you where it is." And I was like, "No." And then he's like, "Okay, fine. There's a map in my pocket." So I looted him and got the map. And then I was like, "What if the money's not there?" So I just threw him on the back of my horse, still tied up. I was like, "I'm going to let him go when I get the money." But then somebody rode past me and it was like, "Witness kidnapping." And I was like, "Fuck." So then I had to turn all the way around and race after this guy, catch up to him.
be like, hey, excuse
And I was
me,
like-
can you not do that?
I was like,
Pardon
"Man,
me, sir.
I just want to get on with what I'm doing here. I'm just going to fucking shoot this guy." So I just shot him, and then I went and hid the body, and then I went and found the money, and then I went on with it. But the idea
Wait,
that,
did you
like,
kill the guy that you tied up to?
no,
Oh.
I let him go. He wasn't
Okay.
a witness to the murder, apparently.
See, I like
'cause
how
he
when
was
you're
tied up.
when you got someone on the back of your horse and they start talking, you can lean back and just punch them in the head.
Yeah,
That's funny as hell.
And if you rear up with them, they'll fall off the back, too.
Oh, I actually
You can
never
drown them if you go in deep
done
enough
that.
water. They can drown. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I noticed that.
But-
That happened on accident.
The detail in this game is incredible. It's just insane.
Yeah, I'm still finding cool things, and like the ambient sound is really good too. Like I've actually stopped and like listened to like sound effects and figured out like things that were nearby because of it, and like wildlife and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you get if you're hunting and you have your surround sound systems on and you crank them up, like you can
Yeah,
hear the animals
I
like
did.
rustling and stuff,
That's a
and
bitter subject for me, but
it's
That's awesome.
it's pretty amazing.
mostly been using headphones.
The sound in general, like again, I know Alex, you always talk about how like Far Cry has like pea shooters, like the shotguns in
Oh,
this
yeah.
game. I mean, Jesus Christ,
Mhm.
I
they
haven't
make
shot
my
shotgun.
they
yet. I
make
did
my
get it.
sub rip. Like it's like amazing how much power comes out of those things, like just in terms of sound.
The sound design for the weapons is fantastic for sure, and the mixing as well. It's just very.
and yeah, the sound in general and like the voice acting.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a single voice actor I thought was terrible.
That's the other thing that I was gonna say. This is literally the first Rockstar game where I want to listen to what people are saying. Like, the way the writing informs you about the characters is great. The fact that, like, I walked up to one of the people I had to collect money from and they were, like, talking to somebody, I was like, I'm just going to sit here and wait a minute to hear what they're saying to each other
Yeah.
in case it, like, helps me or makes me understand something or what. It's just all so good.
Yeah. I haven't been in camp and heard the same thing twice.
Yeah.
Either. Like there's always a different conversation going on. People are always trying to say different things to me. They're always playing a different song if if I happen to be there at night or whatever.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I
just
mean,
wild. Like,
There's a reason there was a 5,000-page script.
Yeah. Well, and like I feel obligated to like greet people and say hello if they talk to me
because they
and
seem like real people.
it's
like,
just
You
like
feel like you're actually part of a group of real people.
Yes, and if you're like me and you play the game like you do your real life and you just ignore everyone, it's kind of awesome too.
Well, yeah,
Like
they
people
s-
are like
they
yelling
get
for
mad
me,
at
and I'm
you.
just like, I just walk away.
well, and that's the
Yeah,
other
you can
thing.
click not now too.
Yeah.
And just be like, go away.
That's the other thing that I'm finding is that like when I talked about Spider-Man, the idea that these crimes would pop up and like juggling everything makes you feel like Spider-Man. The like random stranger encounters of like prisoner who's still got chains on him walking
Yeah.
around and stuff like that. Like I haven't really stopped to interact with too much of that.
Oh, really?
Just this one lady who had a horse on her, like fell on her.
Yeah.
But
I
after
basically
that-
stop for all that stuff.
I have not.
Which that's what keeps me interested. Like, That makes me not so angry about there not being fast travel, because there's always something cool that happens along the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but again, it also ties into the idea that like I don't have a ton of time to play this game always, and it'd be nice if I could just like if I do a mission and I have to turn something back into Dutch or whatever, like just let me click back over to Dutch and teleport. I don't care like all the time.
And you know what? The fact that you can't fucking save in the middle of a mission still. Like, yeah, the checkpoints are much better than they have been in
They're
literally
much
any
better.
other Rockstar
Yeah.
game.
Yeah,
but
well, and
just
the,
let me
The
save
missions
the
are
fucking
also
game.
really short.
That's fine.
the sleep
but-
mode for PlayStation is like the most forgiving sleep mode I've had in
It's
a game.
it's
Yeah.
been
actually fucking
I
works.
I turn it off and I turn it back on and the game's fine.
Yeah.
and that's fine, and that has been the one saving grace. But I just wish, like, God forbid my power goes out, then I'm gonna lose where I am. But
It auto saves often too.
and so I'd
And
probably
you can
have a
also
checkpoint.
manually save.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I go in and manually save after I finish every mission, but God, like, it just feels like this thing that's been in there since Grand Theft Auto 3 that was like
Yeah.
probably a limitation.
There's definitely some odd Rockstar holdovers.
Yeah,
But
and-
some of it's refreshing, like not having icons on the map for every single damn thing and stuff is nice. Like, I don't feel overwhelmed. I feel like I can just wander around and explore on my own.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's cool if I have the time to do that, but I don't always have the time to do that. Like I would just like them to not waste my time if I don't want to. Like if you're going to allow me the choice of playing this game how I want to play it in general, like then give me a fast travel too. At least to points that I've already
Okay, well,
discovered, you know, like if it's to a new area that I've never been, by all means, like make me walk there on foot. I don't care. But if it's literally like, oh, I have to go to Valentine to talk to this person, and then as soon as I'm done talking to them, I gotta take a horse 3 miles back to camp. Just let me teleport back to camp.
There is a legit fast travel, but it only works from camp to locations.
Yeah, no, I want they keep making me have to go back to camp
Yeah.
for whatever reason. Like, just let me teleport back to camp.
I usually just try to
Pat even said the same thing.
figure out, like, I basically try to do multiple things in one area before I go back to camp, just to save time.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
my approach. But
Nick got the game as of yesterday, and he had some thoughts. So he texted me and just said, "Ugh, game of the year, why not? This is awesome." That was the first text that I got from him about it. But then he had some other thoughts. He said, "I can see why the guy said it seemed slow, but I think it was 100." He used the 100 with lines under it emoji. He said, "Very Western vibe, totally drew me in right away. I initially wasn't sure how I felt about it being a prequel, but I'm digging the story so far. I'm digging the story." He said, "I'm not very far. The controls don't feel quite as smooth as Red Dead Redemption 1, but my memory might be misleading me. I did not get a chance to try it out, so I did want to do that. I haven't yet." He said, "I do remember looting bodies being wonky, and it still is. Can't wait to dive into it more. Also, I put a carcass down at camp for 7 seconds, and it rotted. What?" There's enough familiar and enough new stuff to make me to learn that makes the perfect combination. And he said, "I really like Grand Theft Auto 5's story, but it never yanked me in like this does. Could be a genre preference thing. Grand Theft Auto 5 did have an incredible opening mission." And he said, "I have to complete as much story as I can because once online hits, ooh, buddy, we're going to posse up and it's going to rule." And he said, "Horse death count currently stands at 0. Take that for what you will. Haha." So
Apparently, I'm not good at
John
this
can't
game
possibly
either.
be good this bad at the game.
Well, I knew I didn't have to play this anymore.
That's basically what
No.
Nick just said.
I know.
But no, yeah, I'm glad Nick's liking it as somebody who is also a very big fan of Red Dead 1. The one other thing that I did here, which is not going to be a problem for everybody, the HDR in the game is apparently horrible, and it looks better when you turn it off.
It's cool that I don't have that yet. So
It doesn't look better when I turn it off, but it doesn't look very good as far as HDR goes.
I
for
turned it
games.
off, and it felt significantly less washed out, and I didn't even have the HDR up that high. So it was weird to
I
me.
can try it out. It sounded like that was more specific to the PS4 version, I thought.
I heard it was a problem for
Oh,
both, but I don't.
I did. I mean, I'm kind of Like, I'm glad I got it on PlayStation because I can't wait to play online with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the Xbox one's supposed to be a lot better. And it kind of bums me out I'm not playing it on there.
I feel kind of like blissfully unaware. Like, to me, this game looks great, and I haven't even starting it up. Load times haven't been horrible when I have logged out of the game, closed the actual application and stuff like that.
I haven't closed it since I started playing.
So even that has felt better than Grand Theft Auto 5. I'm sure it'll get worse as they put the online in and then transplant a bunch of weird shit into that. But I'm sure it looks great on One X, but it looks fantastic on PlayStation 4 as well, and it performs well too.
I'm happy with it. Especially because I don't have to play anymore. I'm over
You don't
it.
have to quit the game.
No, I'm really excited for online. Like Brian said, having a whole squad of people to play with is going to be amazing.
It will be fantastic. How far are both of you?
I am
What
at
chapter are you in?
Chapter 3.
Yeah, I'm at chapter 3. I'm at 30%.
Okay, I'm still in chapter 2.
Story-wise. My save game is close to 40% of stuff done, I guess.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I have not had as much time as I hoped I would to play it, but
I spent Thursday. I didn't play Friday or Saturday, but Thursday I spent 5 hours playing, and I didn't bump up the percentage of the story at all because I was doing a bunch of side quests and just having fun, living off the land and whatever.
Are all of the people in gold on the map story-related missions? Okay.
And all the white ones are optional.
Okay.
And
Good to know.
Yeah.
Because that, I know, there was a point in time where I had four different gold indicators on there, and I was like, well, I don't know if I want to move forward, but I want to do some of this stuff. So I just kind of picked a random order to do it in, and it worked out fine, and I'm sure it would work out fine no matter how you chose to do it.
I think generally speaking, the ones that will really move the story forward are the Dutch ones, but sometimes there are no Dutch ones, so you have to do other story missions to get his stuff to come back.
Yeah.
But there's some. So you guys, what chapter did you say you are?
I'm in chapter 2 still. I'm still pretty early on.
Chapter 3 is wildly different.
Okay.
He basically kind of changes locations.
Yeah, so I was assuming each chapter was a new camp location, probably, but I don't know that for sure. Obviously, none of us have gotten to chapter 5 or 6 or whatever.
Gladish is at 4.
Okay.
Damn, what the hell?
In Austria, they have 10-hour work weeks
Let's move
Isn't he
there.
in school?
and universal basic income. Not really, actually. They don't have that. Not yet, at
Not
least.
yet. They will before us, I'm sure.
Probably.
Yeah, it's a good game.
It's great. It's a great game.
I don't feel like it's fully gotten its teeth into me yet. But
Me
I think
either.
it's just because I haven't if I played it for all of one day, I'd be like, all right, I'm fully into Red Dead, but I just don't have that type of time on my hands.
I mean, I don't feel like it has its teeth sunk into me either, but it's just enjoyable. It's fun to play games where they allow you to play however you want and do what you want to do, and that's still a good experience. And it's just I don't know. I lost my train of thought somehow. I had other comments I wanted to make that were somewhat negative, but not
Of course.
Well, no, I've had frame rate issues here and there that kind of suck. Things like that, but it's overall it's a fun game. I had one mission that was really dumb where did you run into the circus guy?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, so I tried doing his mission where you have to go find his zebra, and I found the zebra, and I lassoed the zebra, and I was taking it back to him, and the zebra broke loose, and then I chased the zebra down again and caught it again and was taking it back towards camp, and then it told me I failed the mission.
Oh, that's weird.
So
I didn't have that
because
issue.
it said I abandoned the zebra,
Oh yeah.
which I didn't abandon the zebra. The zebra broke loose, and then I caught it again.
That's my issue where I was in town in the first mission, and you're supposed to walk to the hotel, and I took 2 steps forward into the street, and it said, "You've abandoned Karen. Fail."
That's
Come
the sort
on.
of thing where like if they're trying to create an immersive environment, like they shouldn't take you out of it with that kind of failure thing. Just let me fail, and if I fail the mission, then when I go back to that circus dude and he says, "Where's my zebra?" and you're like, "Well, I killed the motherfucker."
Yeah.
Then that's just what happens.
Took
Like
its skin and
I killed it.
I made a
killed
coat.
I killed it, and now I got the sweet zebra coat.
Cool zebra boots.
if you could kill it and make a coat and then come back to the dude, that would be so good. What happened to the zebra?
Check
I
out.
don't know.
Check out these stripy threads I got now.
Or what if you made a coat out of the guy that killed his zebra?
Yeah, what if you could
As you offer it as a peace offering.
make human suits?
What if there's some weird person
How do you get to be
somewhere?
like the serial killer who
You
makes
can
human suits?
You can find a Jeffrey Dahmer somewhere.
Yeah.
Who
There,
will,
there is a serial killer in the game. I found the first like hint for it, and then like
I found dinosaur bones.
because I got killed. Yeah, me too.
that's cool.
There's a quest. around
I've
it.
also found a few instances where Arthur will sketch things in his journal.
Yep.
Like you go up to the object and you inspect it, and then he draws it in his journal, which is
That's
really
cool.
cool. Yeah, there's like the game is super immersive and amazing, and it's just like when they have those failure things that happen. I get it if it's a main story quest and they want you to like progress through the story
Yeah.
properly, but if it's like an offshoot, there's no way that zebra thing had anything to do with the main story. Like,
Did you finish that mission though?
no, I abandoned it because I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking do
the
this.
rest
If that's the kind of shit I have to deal
The
with,
rest of it was easier and cooler.
that's a waste of my time to do something like that where I spend all this time tracking this fucking thing down, I find it, and then it tells me I abandoned it. Like, I'm not interested in doing shit like that. So
It's actually really worth doing that mission because you get two very nice things out of it.
Pat says, let's ask the hard questions. How do you make Arthur fat?
That I don't know because I eat a bunch of food, and it seems like he's always underweight.
Eat stew every day and
Yeah, stew every day, coffee every day. I mean that's not fattening, but maybe
Sure.
I should have less coffee to slow his metabolism down.
You just need to find.
I eat a lot of big game meat.
You got to make butter and then eat the whole urn of butter.
There's a butter churn somewhere.
Yeah.
Don't walk anywhere. Just take your horse literally.
Gladys
everywhere.
just said, "Can someone give John a Snickers?" I'm too Joe Pesci right now.
Yep.
My bad.
Well, there's a bunch of Kit Kats
I didn't
right
realize
here.
there was like an eating mechanic that actually matters. Like,
I kind of
yeah.
assumed like it's kind of like the San Andreas level of like exercising type stuff, you know, where like if you go to the gym enough, you end up looking ripped.
yeah, I mean, all my dead horses have made me ripped. All that fucking running I have to
Beat the
do.
horses so hard that I got
I need to.
biceps bigger than the horse's
I need
neck.
a red hat and white shirts and red shorts so I look like Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Pat wants to know how long everyone's beards are. My beard's kind of gone because I shaved out the middle, so I've got some wicked chops going on and a pretty sweet mustache.
I cut it down a little bit, but I regret it, and I'm not gonna do it anymore.
I shaved my head, shaved everything with the mustache off, but then the hair grew back and I pomaded it, and then I'm just trying to grow a mustache, but it hasn't gone past 5 length so far. I'm gonna style it. Once you get to 4 or 5, you can actually start styling it anyways. but
Gladys has max hair and beard.
That's insane.
It's good.
You just keep
Has
pounding
he
the
been
hair.
eating or
If you pound the
sleeping or
hair
going to
tonic, it
school?
grows. You can grow your hair
Really?
out if you pound hair tonic.
Yeah, that's true. I'm trying not to cheat and do that.
Why you
That's
don't
funny.
want to look like you're in Leonard Skinner?
Fucking ZZ Top. Dude.
Yeah.
Well, I have a beard in real life. I figured I'd go the mustache.
No,
route.
that's cool. This is a new step in gaming, I think, to some extent, because it's going places that I feel like we've never seen before. At least the level of detail is just astounding to
And
me.
there's really not very many Western games.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
That's nice.
It's nice to have something grounded in some semblance of reality as opposed to space robots and
Good point.
fucking ghosts.
Yeah.
Fake ghost people little ghost robots that raise you from the dead repeatedly.
Yeah.
But it's just it's different. It's a different game, and it's cool. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun. And as much as I shit on it, I am really enjoying it. The only reason I feel like Corey tried to like get under my skin with his comment in the Discord about how like oh, look at this critic's got a shit all over the game. Mind you, he's only played one game in the past like 3 years, but
and you can't shit on it. It's not allowed.
Apparently, I'm not allowed to talk shit about a game.
Nobody.
But and the thing is, like, when you have a game that is at the level this game is, you can start to criticize it on a different level, I feel. And that's something like, as a podcast that talks about fucking video games is kind of what we have to do. Like, and I think, at least the people that listen to or watch us on Twitch or whatever, like they wouldn't be here if they didn't value our opinion.
Well, and I think it stands to be said that criticism alone does not mean that you can't enjoy. Like, you can both criticize something and enjoy it at the same time. That's not
everything
impossible
that I
to
really
do.
enjoy. I can think of ways to still improve it.
And I think it's just kind of like when you really enjoy something and can express it well, I think that's one thing. But like, I think that the more interesting parts to me of someone's review of a game are where they feel it goes wrong. And sometimes I might agree with them and sometimes I might not.
But that's like when I think of the gaming podcasts or publications that I read when they review games, I want to know the things that I talk about. Like, I want to know, like, what are the dumb things that happen in the game that would deter you from playing? I want to know, how bad are the controls? Like, is it sloppy? Does it feel great? Does it work perfectly? Like, I want to know these things. So I feel like I'm not giving information that I wouldn't want. So therefore, I'm sharing things that I feel other people might value as well.
But how's the meta, John? Is everybody using the repeater?
Yeah, which gun is the only gun you should be using?
Yeah. Can you only team shoot the O'Driscolls? Or
I'm fucking varmint rifle all day. Varmint rifle everything.
I mean, I guess we'll find out when multiplayer comes out. to be honest.
Oh, Gojo also said his favorite thing that he's done so far. He stumbled upon a clan meeting and threw a stick of dynamite into it.
That's pretty awesome.
That's pretty
I've been looking forward to doing that, but I haven't found one yet.
Gladish says lasso only.
Oh,
Lasso's only multiplayer.
That's our clan.
You have to drag people like off of a mountain in order to
lassos only.
You tie them up and roll them down a hill. I'm down. And throw them in the river.
That's good.
Tie them to a tree and beat the shit out of them.
Yep.
So, anyways, I think that's it for Red Dead. We're gonna keep playing it though. What's up? What else is coming out soon?
Battlefield is at some
And
point.
Fallout.
We got Battlefield right here. Bam.
Yeah, we don't need the new
Hardline.
Battlefield. We have Hardline.
Hardline.
I will likely, I don't know how much I'm going to play of it, but I will likely pick up the Pokemon Switch game just because I want to play it and see what it's like. And
Which one are you getting?
Probably Pikachu.
Maybe I'll get the other
You get
one so
Eevee,
we can play
and we can
together.
I'm going to
Trade.
get neither.
That's fine.
You don't strike me as the Pokemon type.
No.
Nope.
You didn't own it on Game Boy when it first came out and play it incessantly. You didn't charge people to get a Mew with your Game Genie
Nope.
on the
literally-
playground at Pattongill.
That sounds so shady.
Fucking Pokemon hustler over here.
Future drug dealer.
Nate and I had a whole list of prices. We'd copy glitch Pokemon to people.
Oh
Like,
my god.
I hope Nintendo's not listening.
It doesn't matter now.
Does
but
Mom know all this shit?
Probably not. I'd tell her.
She doesn't listen
I don't
to
think
this.
she'd be surprised,
No.
to be honest with you.
No. Let's look at.
All right, I will get Fallout 76. I'm going to throw it out there, and I will continue to play it on PlayStation. That's what I will do. I'm going to just put that out there. So
All right.
I'll
Yeah.
at least get that. I kind of asked for it for my birthday.
Looking
sort of.
forward to hearing you shit on it.
I'll shit on every game. I'll tell you what I don't like about Castlevania. There's things I don't like about Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
I'm gonna play Tetris Effect for sure.
Okay.
That comes out at the end of this week. Hitman 2 comes out on the 13th.
Huh.
It's right before 76 though.
Yeah,
That's
but
hard.
I mean, none of us played any Hitman, and we should.
Yeah.
You know,
well, I played the tutorial,
Yeah.
and it was pretty cool. And I'm like, why didn't I play this?
Darksiders 3 is apparently coming out on the 27th, but I don't
I
think
haven't
any of us have played any of
games.
those.
I think I own the second one on Steam.
Just Cause 4 comes out December 4th.
I have never played any of those.
Haven't played any of them either.
I heard they're fun.
Smash Brothers comes out on the 7th. I'm definitely getting that.
I just don't really want any new games.
Earth Defense Force 5 comes out December 11th.
Gojo can cover that for us.
He already played the Japanese one, so
Oh.
but he is
Well,
also going to buy.
We
the
can
new
have an
one.
exclusive on it.
So this is episode 76, which means we've got
96
96.
Fallout 76.
76. So that means we have 4 more episodes. Well, 3 more until our 100th episode.
So that'll
So
probably be next year at this point, right?
yeah, it'll be after the first of the year, which is fine, I think.
We should
Or
probably
maybe
start
not.
planning. I mean, we've been planning what we're gonna do. Yeah, we already know.
But yeah, we'll have to figure out what we're doing for the rest of the year, I think. We're going to have a 2018 roundup and a 2019 looking forward to kind of thing going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to save that for the 100th episode or what, but we'll figure that out. That's the word
Inside Baseball.
inside baseball. Yeah. Anyways, that being said, if you want to follow us on social media or see other places you can listen to or watch the show, check out MidwestGameNerds.com/links. Also check out our Patreon, which is patreon.com/MidwestPodnet. That's MidwestPodnet. For there, if you're there, you can spend as little as $1 a month and keep our shows alive and well. It is very inexpensive for you to help us. Every little bit counts, and we love it and enjoy it and appreciate it more than you will ever know. Thanks again to Jason K and Gojo for their contributions. As always, we do appreciate your feedback, which you can send to MidwestGameNerds@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow us on Twitch, as well as rate and review us on your favorite podcatcher. Thanks again to Alan for sending in his feedback about Fallout 76 beta. We really appreciate that. If anybody else wants to chime in on what we should do for our next few episodes, feel free to send via email or any of the social media platforms that we are involved on. We are happy to oblige any recommendations or suggestions. So that being said, until next time, thanks again, and peace.